Hi, welcome to the Denver Older Adult Helpers channel on YouTube. I am Morgan Jenkins, and I'm the director of Maintain Me Senior Services.
And I am Chelsea. I am the owner of Maintain Me Senior Services. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Today, we're going to cover a really awesome topic. I know this topic is sometimes questionable anytime we see free, but today our topic is going to be free help for seniors, their families, or caregivers. So we're just gonna kind of openly talk about this. Morgan and I, it's our job in consulting and case management to try to stay in touch with a lot of the different resources that exist here in the Denver metro area. And we're just gonna kind of go through some of the things that we have found that other people have taken advantage of here. For starting with the area agency on aging. So Morgan, can you tell us a little bit about what they offer?
Yeah, definitely. So the Area Agency on Aging, are often referred to as a AAA, is a county-based service. So no matter where you live, anywhere in the United States, if you Google your Area Agency on Aging, it will give you a link to your nearest one. But typically the services provided at the Area Agency on Aging in Denver is called Dr. COG. That's an acronym for I don't even know. It's ERCOG, but it's an acronym. So they are our Area Agency on Aging, and they provide case management. They have vetted resources. So if you're looking for a service, they'll probably have a resource list. And then also they have housing counselors. If you're having housing trouble, that's probably the #1 call that they get, or also counselors for crisis or intervention that might be needed. If you need a resource for someone who's passed away, anything like that, they have some counseling services available.
Yeah, and I will say, after talking with, obviously some people who work over, we call it the AAA, the Area Agency on Aging. One of the things, just to kind of set an expectation for anybody who's looking into this resource, that it is a single entry point for this. And when we were talking about some of the case management services in the past, Morgan and I, we did find that, it is prioritized by safety and things like that. So it's not just an unlimited resource. Anything that's free obviously has a little bit of that. Wouldn't you say that's pretty fair to say that, that they'll try to do the best that they can, but they can't always, you don't get all of the services. It really depends on the situation.
Yeah, it might not be immediate help. If your situation isn't an emergency, or if it's more than just a housing emergency, I feel like you kind of float to the top of the list.
Sure. And then this is a nationwide company, right? And it's grant funded, which is why it's free. We do try to cover a little bit about why it's free, that it is a safe resource. Most of the things that we're going to be giving you is, these are considered safe resources to investigate, if, not just one, but maybe all of them. So definitely, might have to do a little bit from here and a little bit from here and a little bit from here to get your needs met, but definitely worth investigating for sure. A lot of the things that we see, especially with our case management and consulting clients, or even, we're going to get into transition a little bit later, but a lot of people will start to take advantage of some of the nutritional programs that are out there when, cooking is getting harder, or maybe it's not safe, or, getting groceries is a little harder. And so you start to kind of simplify our eating, which, could be good. And especially since there are resources that can help provide a little bit more nutrition. Morgan, can you go into a couple of the nutritional programs that people can look into if that's becoming an issue for them?
Yeah, for sure. So Meals on Wheels is a big one that I think a lot of people have heard of. There's also SNAP benefits, SNAP, which is a federal program for children and adults. And older adults should definitely take advantage of it because it's income based. And so since many older adults are on a fixed income, this type of benefit is also for you. It's not just for children. And then, did you want me to talk about Project Angel Heart too?
I'm sure they do have the meals, right? Because we donate. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Project Angel Heart is if you are ill and oftentimes terminally ill at home. It's another food-based program, but they will actually design the menu that they bring to you based on what your nutrition need is your recommended nutrition needs. So Project Angel Heart is another nonprofit here locally that does deliver meals, but it is if you are ill.
Yeah. And just real quick, we're going to keep going through some of these benefits. But if you are liking this channel, what we do is we educate all across Denver and Colorado about how to get in touch with resources. We help on the other side of community living, things like that. So do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you get notified every single time we put out a new video. We will be having new videos come out every single week, and it's by request. So feel free to comment below if there's something that you're interested in or you have questions about specific programs. We have no problem doing the homework for you. So a little later in this video, we are going to get into, after you've investigated all of these free services or maybe even paid services that we could do on another day. We are going to step into what a better life can look like that also includes some free services. So stick around to the end. We're going to start going through, maybe you've exhausted these resources at home and it's time for the next step. So stick around. Okay, so let's get into I thought this one was pretty cool. Morgan brought this up this morning. I didn't know about this at all, but Denver has some kind of benefit, right, Morgan, for 65 plus for keeping active, right, in Denver?
Yeah, so it's called the Denver My Prime program, and it's actually 60. You can be 60.
Oh, 60, that's right.
Yes, and a Denver resident, and there are many small rec centers in Denver neighborhoods. I have one less than a mile from my house. It has a warm saltwater pool. It has a lift that you can get in and out of. Tons of classes, excellent equipment, very well maintained, and that's free. So you can, if I were you, I would take advantage of that right away. There's an outdoor pool even at ours in the summer. So it just is a great way to take advantage of what's in your community already and keep your body and your brain active and healthy.
I love that. That's so cool. I didn't know about that. Okay, the other thing that we wanted, you know what? I think one of the things that we can cover too is, say you're trying to get active or maybe even just involved in the community, making friends, staying connected. One of the things that Morgan and I always recommend to our clients is looking into the senior centers. It could be by city or by county, but a lot of these senior centers, they will have activities, especially, are geared towards our older adults. And a lot of them will either have a really small fee or they'll be free, depending on what kind of event that they're doing. And we said that there's been some movie stuff, right, Morgan, with Volunteers of America or something?
Yeah, you can get, I think it's $3. If it isn't free, I mean, it's Volunteers of America. So if you showed up and you didn't have $3, they would definitely encourage you to stay and eat. And there's a community center in Lakewood that offers, you can take the Lakewood rides to the community center, have a meal, and stay and watch a movie. And
yeah, just a way to get connected. And maybe, maybe the care isn't something that you're necessarily looking for, but just a way to get out and get connected again, I think is just as helpful to keep us busy and moving and using our muscles and cultivating friendships. So, okay, outside of that, Alzheimer's has a really cool courses, right? That can be helpful to seniors.
Yeah, so the Alzheimer's Association, again, is a national nonprofit. They have an e-course, so that means it's an online course, and it has resources to teach you how to do legal and financial information for your loved ones, and also connects you to community level resources. So if you search Alzheimer's Association in your area and go to the website for your location, then you can look at all their online courses, and then also what might also be available in the area if you or your loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's or any medical issues.
Yes, and then let's go over to transportation. Morgan had mentioned it a little bit in regards to some of the some of the different programs and stuff. However, there is a free transportation in Denver. It's VIA, right? VIA, Morgan?
Correct. So the Senior Resource Center used to have buses, and the Senior Resource Center buses went all over, I want to say, Jefferson County. But when the pandemic hit, both of the Senior Resource Centers had to close down, and the one in Evergreen even temporarily. they weren't able to keep open, keep their funding coming. So they ended up selling their whole transportation program to VIA, which is out of Boulder. But VIA, when you go online, you have to apply so that they can certify you truly do need the service, but it's not too complicated. And this is V as in Victor, IA, VIA. And they have rides all over the Denver metro area once you're a member.
That's awesome. Okay, so we have touched on a little bit of everything, right? We touched on getting services and case management and counselors with AAA. We talked on some nutritional options if cooking is becoming too hard. We talked about, oh, you know what? Let's really quick before I move on. There are some low fee things that we did think was worth mentioning. One of them being a little help. And this is a small, low monthly membership. The reason actually Morgan brought this to our team here at Maintain Me Senior Services, and we were able to, as a team, go and volunteer for this little help. And just to give you an idea of kind of an example of the things that you would be paying for if you were a member of this, we were able to go out as a team. We helped do kind of like yard pickup. So we did, raking the leaves and pulling weeds. And I mean, you name it, like just to try to make that a little easier for, this older adult to stay in her home. She couldn't take care of that anymore. And so she's getting that kind of routine help that she needs as the seasons change. So again, I don't know, do you have any other examples, Morgan, that you know of that they do if you're part as a member? I know that one specifically.
Yeah, a little help is cool. It's actually growing a lot. So look in your area if you have a little help chapter, but like Chelsea mentioned, home maintenance really extends your time you're able to stay at home to be able to have help keeping up with the maintenance. They also have just companionship. They also have programs where you can get a ride somewhere. If you needed a ride to, say, a cancer treatment or something like that, you could get matched up with a little help volunteer for that. Housekeeping,
right? Anything volunteer
really covers a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, okay. So just going back to what I was saying, kind of giving you some of this inclusive, there are a lot of things out there that, do offer, free services that are either grant funded or through the counties and all of that. And then there's also some kind of low, low membership fees or low cost things to try to get involved that are definitely not going to, break the bank. If all of this, say you've gone through this, right? You're like, yep, I've done that, Chelsea, I've done that, Morgan, like I've been there, done that. I'm getting Meals on Wheels and it's fine, but I'm losing weight or it's just not enough, or even that is just not satisfying to me anymore. That's when we start to hear from clients saying, you know what, I've been there, I've done that, I've tried this. What is the next step look for me? Is there free help in learning the next step and helping me, maybe overcome some fears or maybe kind of get through some of what we think things are going to look like. So expectation versus reality, things like that. So that kind of leads us into our free services of another thing that we offer with Maintain Me. This isn't a sales pitch, right? We help people at home stay and age in place. We help people transition to community style living. Our whole thing is meeting people where they are, wherever they are in the aging process and helping. And so, but we would be doing you a disservice without telling you about this other free service. So the next free service is transition services. Oftentimes you will hear placement. Okay. Placement services is kind of the known name. We don't like that word. We just don't agree. We think that transitioning is a more, descriptive word about what's really going on at this stage of life. So Morgan, let's branch into our transition services. Let's give a quick rundown of what those free services look like and why they're free.
Awesome. Thanks for that. So free services for Maintain Me, our transition program. We do an assessment of your financial, social, and medical needs. And we look at what area of town you're desiring to stay in, or maybe you have a family member that's in a different part of town and you'd like to move closer to them. And then we present to you options that make sense, options you can afford. If you need to look at using Medicaid in the future, options that take that into consideration, and options that really fill your cup. Something that would make you feel proud to call that your new home because of all the things that you gain by moving into a community. So we're going to highlight, we're going to educate on that with the transition program. And like you said, the reason that it's free. So it's a free service to our clients, free advocacy support. And the reason it's free is because we put a lot of work into it. We do a lot of research. We maintain our contacts so that we know who's doing a good job in communities, and the communities recognize our value. So they know that when Maintain Me sends them a referral, there's a really good chance that person may be moving in, or at least coming to take a tour of their community. And when someone does move in, the place that they choose, we don't pick it for them. We give them options, we tour with them, they choose, then the community pays our fees. That community says, thank you, Maintain Me. We have this really well qualified lead who's happy and, you know, chose us off of a list, and we will pay for your fees as a referral fee, basically, for your services.
Awesome. And I'm going to just come in there because a lot of my clients will try to understand, you know, what we do in the transition world. And the best thing to say is, you know, this isn't like a real estate agent or an insurance company where our fees are topped on top of, you know, what you're already paying, or you get charged more to work with us or anything like that. It's just not like that. It's kind of in place of these places paying a lot of marketing fees and having people on their own team. The good thing it is for our seniors is that we don't work for any of these places. You know, we don't have any buy-in with these places outside of just, you know, them working with us on, you know, a contract type basis, but we don't, it doesn't incentivize us one way or the other to send you one place or the other outside of just good positive outcomes. And so it's a really great program. So if you have gone through all of these things and you're like, okay, well, and one of the things that we do in consulting is we weigh your options. You know, maybe you do want to stay independent at home. We talk about what that looks like. And then we talk about what it looks like to transition. Either way, we still help you, you know, that way you're making informed decisions. That is our biggest thing, is having control. You know, you've been in control of your life up until this point, and there should be zero differences in that. And then of course, if you're a family member or caregiver, you might be stepping in for the first time, and you want to make sure that you're not only honoring your loved one or who you're caring for, but also that you're making a good choice and you're educated and you come in informed and ready to go. So again, this video is really just to help you understand what free services are out there for seniors, whether you're staying at home, you're transitioning. I love seeing places invest in our older population and giving back to those who are the whole reason we're here. It's Morgan and I's passion. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We have our phone number down below, our emails, you name it, however you prefer to get a hold of us, please feel free to do so. Again, comment. It really helps people get, you know, access to this video. So if you have comments about how we said, or if you have questions about it, that is only helping our video get to all the other older adults or families or caregivers out there. So I appreciate your time. Anything else, Morgan, before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's a job well done.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the Denver Older Adult Helpers channel. We love you all. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.